Welcome to the Home Story Cup 9, European qualifiers. I got a little bit distracted there by a sub we just got, Shabby1994. Thank you very much, man. I'll add you to the overlay. Very much appreciated. But yes, welcome to the Home Story Cup 9 European qualifiers, boys and girls. It's a best of 3. It's a fresh best of 3. You've been asking for this all day, and here you go! Spawning in the top left corner of the map from Alien Invasion, the Red Zerg player, Golden. In the top right, from the clan Do You Know, aka like MC's like little mod squad, it is the Blue Terran Yoda. Yoda, by the way, again, he's not, I was talking about this before we got into the game. Yoda hasn't really been too active, I would say. Not active, I should say. He hasn't had a lot of achievements. That's a better way to phrase it. Because he's been fairly active. Again, competing in the WCS European region. The little joke there about the MC thing is the fact that all these guys are currently living in the Gem House. It's MC, it's Yun, it's First, it's Yoda. Like, these guys are all over in Europe right now, not Korea like we're used to seeing them. So they're actually physically living in Europe. Same goes for Golden, who's living in the Alien Invasion house over there. So for them, like, not only are they playing on their home turf, their home soil, if you will, Europe versus Europe, it's also no latency, no issues, and they compete in these region-based tournaments without guilt or problems because they don't live in Korea. This is actually pretty awesome out of both of these guys to dedicate to, like, we've seen before so many talks about, you know, Huck, he went to Korea, trained for years. We had Desro, we had Destiny, all these people have been to Europe, have been to Korea. But rarely, if ever, do we hear about Koreans that leave Korea to come pursue StarCraft in any other part of the world. And Yoda is one of the few. Golden is one of the few. They are both two players who have done this. Now, I've been referencing and talking about it a lot, and I don't want to overhype this game and have it end up being like a 6 pool into like a 2 racks into a 2 racks again type thing, but Golden versus Yoda fought each other again just recently in the WCS European qualifiers. It was the funnest, greatest merry-go-round, specifically that map. If you can find that on YouTube, that was the best game I've seen out of like any TVZ in a long time. Now, it's worth noting, Golden did beat Yoda the last time these two faced off, and while it was 2-1, it was still barely 2-1 in every single game. So I don't know what Yoda has planned for this one, but on Habitation Station, he's going to have his work cut out for him. Gold bases have been a real nuisance for Terran players to deal with, as oftentimes it's a Zerg player who manages to abuse it, not the Terran. But of course, gold bases can fall into either player's favor depending on how the match plays out. Now the Surf Reaper is going to come over here, and Yoda's going to come out with the second. Not going to go for the third, in fact, going for the faster factory. So we've kind of seen like a lot of I guess a little bit of differentiating actually between a lot of the players today. We've had some do the 2 Reapers. We had that one guy earlier, name escapes me right now. He did 1 Reaper, and of course the little Kenny went with the 3 rocking hard. But now Yoda's sticking with 2, going for the Hellions, a little bit faster, a little bit better. Just kinda, yeah, juking out on creep. For Golden, of course, if he can fight Reapers on creep, they're actually fast enough with those lings to do so, but unfortunately, if you're trying to get you off of creep, well, you're gonna have a bad time. Now, to express what's awesome about this, guys, just how clear-cut this is, as far as deciding who's gonna win, who's gonna lose. We got a betting system on the channel, of course, and the bets are so even right now. We'll close them after this first game because the bets are just on who's gonna win the series, not what the score will be. And there's about 2,135 bets placed on Yoda and 3,248 on Golden, so still pretty close. You guys have until the first game is over to finalize, to decide what your decision is going to be. Now he's still just poking outside the base. Right now, Golden, you know, he's got these nice queens up for defense. He's got lings on top of the cliff waiting for Reapers to jump up. All Yoda's really able to do right now is pick off creep tumors at best. So he decides to disengage for the time being, comes back home. It's about that time. 6 minutes is pretty much your mark for Zerg players who take the earlier gas to get metabolic boost, to shut down the Reapers. But there's Hellions on the way. Hellions and Reapers are a whole nother scenario altogether. This Overlord should not die, should be able to get out alive. Well, I said that with a kind of a British accent. You shall not die. No, okay, I can't repeat it. But we got the Polt Viking coming out of the starport first here. I really like this a lot, because cleaning up Overlord spread, oops, sorry, hit my microphone. Clearing up the Overlords around the map is not about getting free kills so much as it is about stripping vision away from your opponent, making sure, for example, that Golden doesn't see the drop that follows this up. Mentality sort of things. But what's worth noting is Yoda hasn't gone for Stimpak. He didn't swap the barracks over, he swapped it off of the tech lab. So he's not looking to go for that tech just yet. Banshee, he's misplaced. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, we've all done that before. You gotta reposition the starport again. But he starts poking away over here. And if he is gonna go for Stim, well, it's gonna be quite some time before he does. So Cloak Banshees are gonna be the weapon of choice for now. Yoda focus firing down top of the Hellions, rightfully so. This, of course, is because, you know, well, if you shoot the Reapers, they're just gonna heal up. But the Hellions can't heal, not without getting repaired, and not till, I guess, Hellbat / Medivacs come out later. Vikings up to about 1 kill. We're gonna get another Overlord snipe off here in a moment's time, but Golden shoos these away. And I love the attack animation of the Queens. It's literally like this giant claw reaching out saying, shoo, shoo, get out of here, as he flicks them away. But losing these Hellions, not something he really wants to do, and that's why we see him being a little bit careful with this. He could just kind of run into the base, he could try and do a lot of damage, maybe pick off some drones, like we've seen some players do today, but it's your map control for the time being. You really don't want to risk this. With Baneling Nests on the way, this will be good for the mid-game, for sure. And the Viking, not quite going to get this overs here. Unfortunately, it should hatch. Yeah, and heal the full. Zergs like eat the cocoon or something. I don't really know how it works, but they don't deny when they they get fully healed when they hatch. On the side of the map, though, even though there's Hellions present and the Watchtower's been taken, Yoda doesn't really have the capability to move in here and kill the creep tumors. There's just nothing here he can clean up. It's kind of ugh. But the Baneling Nest on the way means he's going to be able to start looking towards getting that Centrifugal Hooks upgrade. He's got 1-1 on the way. He's going to time out actually pretty nicely with Yoda's own 1-1, so he's not going to have that quick advantage. But it's going to be really difficult to get 2-2 for Yoda, especially if he's got to start making these medevacs. Again, you got to remember, all of his tech's coming up a little bit delayed, a little bit later. 1-1's coming up a little bit faster as well, so he's not going to necessarily have the gas count to turn out like 5 medevacs right off the bat, especially if he wants to incorporate anything else into the mix. But looking to be primarily Marines for the time being. Oh, that's a hole! Oh! Oh, that's not fully walled off! That's a problem is what that is. But seeing that the Hellions are exposed in the middle of the map, Lings are coming back, and Yoda's got to control this a little bit better than what he's doing right now. Banshee in the air is going to help a little bit. We do see a lot of Lings getting fried alive, but unfortunately there's just too many. Banshee could pursue the Queens if it wanted to, but here comes the overs here, so it's a better idea to just turn around and go home. Again, I don't know if Yoda recognized that there was a hole in that wall. I know Yoda or Golden must have realized it for even just a second. Okay, now he's got to be fully aware at this point. Awkward is as awkward does. Surprise, there's a hole in your wall. Banshee at the main, by the way, I didn't realize was also going off while this happened. Got a couple kills on it. About 17 workers dead so far, so I'd say more than a couple actually. The other Banshee's only gotten 4 kills. Not too bad. I didn't even catch Yoda sneak that in while that was going on. We got 2 medevacs on the way as well as some Widow Mines. Widow Mines will be okay in the early game, but as we saw out of Lilicanine and as we've seen out of other players like Joxy and, or sorry, not Joxy, I was going to say specifically anyone but Joxy, Widow Mines are this, it's an interesting choice. We saw a lot of Hellbats earlier today, and we've seen a lot of Hellbats in general from majority of Terran players. And these aren't like bad Terran players, these aren't scrubby Terran players who can't micro, who don't micro. It's just, it's about the mentality of like, you don't have to control as much to get much more effect out of it, I guess. But going back to what I was referencing before, I don't know where Yoda's at right now, but again, it takes a lot of control, and Joxy is literally the only Terran player I've seen who actively micros his Widow Mines on a fairly regular basis. Not that to say that he does it every game diligently or anything, but oddly enough, gold base is going to be secured by Yoda first. Unfortunately, these SCVs are going to die, and he's going to have to lift that, as the Banshee doesn't have enough DPS to stop this outright. But the Widow Mines burrow, they're going to take out a couple of these Banelings. Marines do stim forward to try and take a bit more of the fight, but with only 2 Banelings behind this, it's a little bit scary for Golden. Unfortunately, though, for Yoda, he's got to turn around and defend that command center. He also doesn't know if there's more Banelings behind this, is another big problem. Not that he's got a scouting issue by any means, but it's still just kind of that I guess scary feeling where it's, are there 12 Banelings behind this, or were you really just down to 2? Either way, Marines on the defensive will be able to hold this. Command center lifted means that the bunker goes down. This is actually a full wall off now, providing the depot's lifted, of course. Golden finally moving into Mutalisks. Now, one of the greatest strengths I'd say that I give to Golden when it comes to this matchup, guys, is the fact that he doesn't get stuck on layer tech like a lot of Zerg players are pretty guilty of. But with the way this has been playing out so far, he's not going to be able to afford to go for that faster hive. We see some nice aggression out of Yoda as he cleans up this ramp. Still no Banelings to really fight with, only just now morphing in, and some more Lings trying to go to the gold to punish this. They'll be able to come a couple of SCVs over here, but at what cost? These might have been better off at home turning into Banelings, because again, Yoda has got this force that looks unstoppable. Golden pulls the drones away from this. He's going to have to yield the third. He's got a fourth that he retreats to, but he needs to get banelings out. Centrifugal hooks is done, so he can definitely roll into this army, but this is going to be so hard to deal with as the fourth base comes under attack. These Zerglings were not turned into banelings either. Does not have any form of an upgrade advantage in the slightest, and Yoda's actually stutter-stepping around to try and corral these poor drones to death. So Golden's about to lose a lot of workers, guys. Banelings rolling in from the behind. They're going to get a couple decent connects off, but this kind of felt more desperate than forced. He's already lost all the drones. There's really no reason to dedicate more into this. 48 workers down, but still 41 available in play. If this was a third base, like if Golden had a gold base, maybe he comes back off of this, but yeah, I think he realized he just didn't have enough. That was a really, really strong push out of Yoda that completely caught Golden off guard. Those banelings were not done in time.